am extremely happy. And I want to share with you that if you've been wanting to set your soul on fire, allow this to be the time that you set your soul on fire. I've been having the time of my life over this last week since I last saw you. I've turned 28. I'm feeling great. And I launched a program that I'm so excited to share with you all. It's a program that I knew it was time to drop it, and I'm really excited during Freedom Queen Live today. I'm going to be talking with you about, number one, how I've been doing 100K sales months without even realizing it. I just realized it this weekend. Number two, my iconic birthday extravaganza and what that was like. And then number three, how I'm planning on setting my own soul on fire. But I would love to know if you're with me live, say hello. Alexa's here in the house. Gemma's here. Hi, Gemma. Oh my gosh, if you're here with me, say hello, say hello, say hello. I would love to know who's here in the house with us, because we're about to have one of the most epic Freedom Queen lives of our life. Okay, so let's kick it off with why I'm so obsessed with talking about setting your soul on fire before I tell you all about the most craziest experience that I had around my birthday. So why set your soul on fire? Why is this something that I'm just absolutely obsessed with talking about right now? And hey, Ebony, if you're watching, don't be a weirdo. Say hello in the comments. Introduce yourself. Don't hide. Hey, Scarlett. So it's why set your soul on fire. My journey of building my business has been something like setting my soul on fire. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's uncomfortable, whether it's like, it's a huge challenge. My journey has been, I need to set my soul on fire. Because to me, hey, Dr. Libby, Alexa, to me, business is really just like this massive awakening journey. And maybe you feel the same way inside of your business as well. It's not like, hey, Casey, it's not how do I sell a lot of stuff on the internet. It is so much more than that. It is, how do I figure out what I'm capable of doing? Like, that's what I'm obsessed with when it comes to business. Hey, Morgan. Hey, Taisha. Hey, everybody. Oh my gosh, everyone's here. Morgan's inside of the Set Your Soul on Fire program. A couple of you are that are on this live. To me, the milestones, the income, the engagement, the likes, the wealth, the money is all a byproduct of you setting your soul on fire. Of you deciding that you're the person that gets to do this, that gets to build the thing that you want to build, that wants to teach whatever it is that you're teaching, that wants to create the movement. Hey, Jenny Lynn, that wants to create the business that you want to create. And as a byproduct, money comes in. To me, money doesn't motivate me, but what does motivate me is setting my soul on fire. I'm absolutely fascinated with this topic. And like in the last month, maybe it's just the season of life I'm in. And you'll have to let me know, just put a yes in the chat if you feel the same way. To me, setting your soul free is why we're here. Discovering what you're actually capable of is why you and I are here. You could be selling insurance. You could be selling fertility. You could be selling relationships. You could be selling business. But at the end of the day, when you think about your clients' work, when you think about the work that you do with people, with yourself, if you don't have clients, it is you unlocking your next level. It's not, let me go on the internet and sell a bunch of stuff. It's, who can I become? Who can you become? What odds can you defy? You know, when you're having an up level in business and it's like you go through what feels like a giant adventure. I've been talking a lot about The Hobbit because I love The Hobbit, and you'll have to let me know if you love The Hobbit as well. Like, I'm a huge fan. But when Bilbo goes out on the quest for adventure and he leaps and someone says, "Where are you going?" And Bilbo says, "I'm going on an adventure." This to me is like the most iconic thing in this world, because that's what we're doing in life. And by the way, when you're setting your soul on fire, when you're going on this incredible adventure, it's probably going to be really uncomfortable. You're going to experience the demons, the darkness, but you're also going to experience the peaks of the mountaintop, the incredible lakes that you sail over. Like, you're going to experience so many incredible things. Alexa says, "Oh my gosh, shut up. I love that you love Lord of the Rings." I'm a huge, like, Lord of the Rings, everything. The Hobbit, I can watch it a million times. Finally read The Hobbit this year. That makes sense why we work together, Callie. That makes sense. I know that it might be hard to answer the call. I know that it might be scary to answer the call that you're ready for another level. And I'll share with you, with my heart and soul here, there have been many times where I'm like, yup. And you'll have to let me know if this lands for you. Yup. I know I'm ready for more, but I'm scared. I know I'm ready for more impact, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what people will think of me. I'm afraid of what will happen if I'm too much. I'm afraid of what people will think if I wear a bathing suit on a YouTube live for my business. I'm afraid of what people will think if I say something like that on the internet. I'm afraid if I drop this offer, if no one buys. I coach this client in this way that I know that they need if they won't like me anymore. Like, all of these things. For me, when I'm going through another level, these are the fears that come up. Put a yes in the chat if you've experienced those. Or this one, I'm afraid if I go to another level, I have to leave people behind. You know, that fear has scared the crap out of me for many times. Alex says, "So happy to be here live, craving some Bridget James Link energy today." Alex, I'm so glad you're here. I'm loving our one-to-one messages this morning. Alexa says yes. I want to remind you this week, when you're growing your business, that the work isn't when you're signing on clients and you're making money and everyone's validating you and everyone's like, "I love you and you're amazing and come, you're the best mentor ever, you're the best client ever, you're winning." The work actually is when it's not working. It's when no one's validating you. It's when your coach says something to you where you're like, "Oh shoot." It's when your clients aren't saying to you, "You're the best mentor ever and I love you." It's when you drop an offer and no one buys. I'm smiling because I've been in all of these situations. This is actually where the work happens. Can you continue on the adventure that you said yes to, despite all of the fears, despite the lack of validation, despite your soul not being on fire? Your superpower can be you continue on a journey and an adventure, even when your soul is like a little light. It's just like a little candle. It's barely blowing in the breeze. Sometimes it gets blown out and you're out there in the woods trying to like protect your little fire, and you're here and you're like, "No, wind, don't blow out my candle." If that's the season that you're in your adventure, good for you. I'll hold you in that. But I also want to remind you that you can go from being in the woods, trying to make sure that the wind doesn't blow out your little flame, to setting your soul on fire, to like it being this huge explosion like that. To you pouring gasoline, you getting up and deciding, I'm gonna pour gasoline all over this mother effing fire and I'm gonna blow some stuff up. And it might be uncomfortable. And it probably will. But I guarantee that there's some sort of move in your life, in your business, that you get to make that's going to help you pour the gasoline all over it. And it comes in little sneaky ways. Sometimes it's making a big move like investing or continuing to invest in yourself. Sometimes it's changing the clothes you wear. Sometimes it's saying no to someone in your life. Sometimes it's shifting your mindset. Sometimes it's failing. But I really want to remind you this morning that you have the power to set your soul free. I'm going to be talking about this in our program Icon coming up next week, which if you aren't an icon, send me a message on Instagram and I'll get you the link. But it's a 2-week live group coaching program about what does it really look like for you to be your most iconic self. To me, being my most iconic self means doing my hair and makeup and wearing a bikini on my live this morning and owning that. To me, it looks like making content that I want to make, not based on what other people are doing, but based on what Bridget James Ling wants to say. Icon and Set Your Soul on Fire, 2 really nice complementary programs. And many of you, you're in both of them or you get access to both of them. So for me right now, I'm setting my soul on fire. And the way that I'm doing this, number one, I'm going to share this with you and I'm going to go into much more deeper context and coach you through this inside of Set Your Soul on Fire program. But one of the ways that I'm doing this is by moving the way that I want to move. So on Thursday, on my birthday, I said, I have an idea for a program. I'm going to drop it despite what other people are doing. I'm going to drop this program and I have no idea if people are going to buy. When was the last time you gave yourself permission to have a creative idea, to drop it, to launch it, to sell it, and just see what happens? Where in your business and in your life are you looking for what other people are doing? And where can you just decide from your place of leading your own empire, what do you want to create? So on Thursday, I said, I want to create an offer, Set Your Soul on Fire, because I've been signing on private clients for the Set Your Soul on Fire private program. And I said, I want to do a Set Your Soul on Fire 1-week program. It's a quantum leap. I'm going to price it at a no-brainer offer, $300, boom, launched it. First hour, no one bought. Okay, this is great. Am I going to allow that to determine how I feel? No. I'm going to continue to show up. I'm going to continue to move first, set my own soul on fire, and see what happens, and continue to lead. Now, many people have bought. In the beginning, no one bought. Even to this morning, I am still promoting and talking about the Set Your Soul on Fire program. I could say, oh, enough people bought. It's pretty much filled. I don't need to keep going. Heck, no. I'm going to keep moving and keep selling and keep serving and keep setting my own soul on fire and keep on and keep on and keep on and keep on and keep on. And then I'm going to do everything at a really, really high level. Client work, the way that I'm mentoring people, the conversations that I'm having, the way that I'm working with people, the intimacy that I'm having with clients, like deepening all of the work. And then I'm going to do a lot more coaching on this inside of Set Your Soul on Fire. Shayna says, yes, I just joined. Shayna just joined this morning. Sonia, belated happy birthday, Bridge. Let's do that this week, Alexa says. So, okay, put a yes in the chat if you are committed to setting your soul on fire. Whether you join the Set Your Soul on Fire program, whether you're already in it or you don't join it at all, just put a yes in the chat if you're committed to setting your soul on fire for you, not for anyone else, not for a mentor, not for your community, not for a client, but for you. For like, you are on this planet for a reason, right here, right now. You deserve to live a life where you wake up and you go, what can I create today? Like, I know people talk about, you know, there's ups and downs in business and life and all the things, and of course, but what if you were able to have a life where your soul was on fire even through the challenges? On Friday, I got in a scooter accident and my soul is still on fire. Yes. Everyone says yes. I have a bruise to show it, which is why my elbow's like this. On Thursday, Robbie told me, pack your bags, we're going on a trip. Pack your bags, we're going on a trip. I said, oh my God, where are we going? I actually have a whole vlog about this. It's quite embarrassing, and I'm gonna upload it to our YouTube channel. I'm going on a trip, I don't know where I'm going. He's like, all right, now we gotta go get tacos, come back because our ride's picking us up at 6. We get on the scooter, we ride to the wrong taco place, we get to the right taco place, we arrive, I sit down at this table, and I'm like, I don't like this table, so I move to another table because it's out of the shade. And I'm sitting there, and Robbie comes up to me, he's like, Bridge, why do you want to sit here? Let's go sit over in this other area. And he has this like little look in his eyes. I'm like, something is up, something's going on here. What's happening? And I walk around the corner, and my parents are standing in the corner of the restaurant in Mexico. They arrived in Mexico, and I'm like taken back to being a 12-year-old at this point. I'm like, you know, when you're around like, to me, when I'm around my parents, it's just like, oh, you guys. So my jaw drops. I'm like, you're in Mexico, and if you guys know me, you know they were just in Thailand with me like last month, like 2 months ago. I'm like, you're in Mexico, standing in front of me right now. This is insane. Like, what are you doing here? And they are there. I'm like, my dad's like, come on, baby, like, come on over here. So I come on over. I'm like, what are you guys doing? This is the best surprise ever. And they're spending the weekend with us. And I'm just like belated. I'm so ecstatic. I'm like, I can't believe you guys are here in Mexico. The adventure, you guys, the adventure of my birthday weekend was insane. I truly embodied Bilbo's I'm going on an adventure on my birthday. So the next day we go out to breakfast. We go to a cenote. We're in the cenote swimming around. It's absolutely beautiful. There's not a lot of people there. We're like looking at turtles. There's bats flying around. And my dad is 71 years old. He's overweight and he has 2 knee replacements. He's had cancer. Like, this man has been through it all. And he's very strong, however. He's very strong and like very resilient in his mind. And as we're getting out, we decide, let's get out of a new area in the cenote. Let's get out of a new area in the cenote. So we're getting out, and the cenote steps on this side are rocks and slimy. And in order to go from being in the water to up on the rock, you have to kind of like lift your knee up. So imagine my dad, who's overweight and has 2 knee replacements, trying to get up on this rock. Anyways, he slips, goes down on his knee on the rock, falls backwards, and the rock gouges his shin down to the, like, basically the bone. Like, we can like see the bone in through his skin. And I'm just like, this is crazy. Sign me up for this. Now, I don't wish this upon anyone, and he's okay and everything's all right. Again, I told you he's very resilient, but holy moly. He walks out of there, almost slips and falls again. We get him out of there after like trying to maneuver him. How are we going to get him out of there? We're taking off our life vests, putting him on the ground. And Robbie's like hanging onto one thing, pulling my dad out. I'm like, happy birthday. This is crazy. Welcome to Mexico. We go to the hospital here. He gets stitches. It's like a lot of money to get the stitches, whatever. Goes and gets it done. Robbie and we go to the beach, we come back and get them, we go home, and he's totally fine. We go out to this incredible dinner, the best dinner of my life. We go and have this crazy dessert extravaganza. Like, it's amazing. My dad's fine. Like, I'm making him walk up like 10 flights of steps to get to this thing called the nest. Morgan says, oh my God, VR fathers would be My father's the same way. He's totally fine. This man has just had like stitches and he's like, I'm good. Let's keep going. So we have an amazing birthday night, like one of the best birthday nights ever. And I have an incredible story to tell. The next day, we were supposed to go turtle snorkeling. And we say, you know what, let's not do that. Like, let's just go have a relaxing beach day. We go, and the next day, we're there. We get on our scooters. It's like 9 in the morning. We get on our scooter, and Robbie and I, the day before on my birthday, we took so many cabs back and forth because, well, my parents can't ride scooters. And also, we were going from the hospital to the beach, to the beach, to dinner, to the cenote. Like, we've taken so many cabs. We're like, you know what, guys, we're going to ride the scooter because we haven't rode it in a couple of days and we love it. And you guys take the cab. We'll meet you at breakfast. We get on the scooter. Now, you and I know that Robbie and I, we ride scooters a lot in Thailand, which Thailand is made for scooters. Mexico is not made for scooters. They also have a different type of scooter here. It's not as sturdy. We're on the road to the beach, going pretty fast, but not that fast. And we don't see a speed bump, which is in Spanish called a tope, speed bump. And it doesn't have any sort of the yellow warning on it. So it blends in. And coming up to it, Robbie and I both have the wind blowing in our hair. I'm like, happy birthday to me. At one point, I'm literally yelling freedom. I'm like, freedom! Like, this is amazing, freedom! And then I go, speed bump. And I scream to Robbie, speed bump. And we don't brake in time or slow down enough in time. The bike stops. We go flying off of the bike. Now, this has healed a lot more, and I have a similar one on my leg. It's not that bad. It looks way better than it did on Friday. We're on the ground, on the asphalt in Mexico. Everyone's braking their cars, pulling over to make sure that we're okay. My phone goes flying. Thankfully, it's totally fine. Shout out to OtterBox or whatever this case is. And we go flying. My parents are in a cab behind us. I call my mom. I'm like, Mom, we were in an accident. She's like, oh my God, what? I'm like, it's not that bad. We're okay. I'm standing up. And I'm just standing there, like, hysterically laughing, also in shock. Like, what the heck just happened? We were okay. We went back to our house. We got back in the cab. We went home. We got all bandaged up. My mom was there, Nurse Bridget, because my mom's name is Bridget, for those of you who don't know that. We go to the beach. We spend an entire day at the beach. It was amazing. We have a great dinner, and then I leave on Saturday morning. But there's something really powerful about that moment that Robbie and I had when we were on the bike screaming, freedom! And then poof, on the ground. And you know me, because this is what I do. I'm like, this is a lesson. That is the metaphor of Freedom Queen. You are going to decide that you're going to reign in your empire. You are going to create this epic thing. You're going to be screaming freedom, having the time of your life. Something crazy is going to happen. And you're going to have a scar to remember it. When you sign up for an adventure, you better believe that when we're on this crazy rocket ship, it is not going to be everything is working out for you 24/7. Everything is happening. Everything is great. It's not going to be that. There are going to be times when you are falling. Now, I hope and pray that it's not that, but it might happen. When you're getting stitches, when you're having a mind FUCK, when challenges are coming up, when you're being tested in your business. But can you hold all of it? Can you hold the moments when you're not being validated? Can you hold the moments when you're on your side, on the road, on asphalt, bleeding? Now, I'm not saying you have to behave in some certain way, because by all means, I was like, what the heck is happening? But can you hold it? I know that you are building something iconic. Whether you've done $100 million in your business, or whether you've done $0 in your business, I know if you're in the Freedom Queen movement and brand, you're doing something iconic. You see yourself as an icon. And through your journey, there are going to be moments where you're like, woo, I'm on top of the world. And now you're horizontal bleeding on asphalt. And then whoop, and then you're in the hospital getting stitches. And then whoop, there are going to be moments. Can you hold yourself through all of them? Which leads me to my last point on Freedom Queen Live today. But first of all, I would love to know if you're still with me here. If you're still with me here now, put it in the chat if this is landing for you. I would love to know. So much drama, Jenna says. Welcome to Tulum. The roads here are insane. Which leads me to this last point of, I said, well, on Saturday, my parents had left. Alexis says yes. Yep, the ups and downs. On Saturday, when my parents had left, I was sitting by the pool. I was icing my body. I was relaxing. I said, let me plug some numbers. Let me look at the numbers here. And without even realizing it, majority of 2023 has been 100K sales months. And I was like, what? This is crazy. Because last year, I would have known. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have been tracking, I would have been looking at the numbers. I would have known that it was 100K sales months. Because it was so new. I hadn't done 100K sales months until last year. And this year, I thought, okay, well, what is actually making that difference? Why now am I thinking to myself, oh, I didn't even realize this is happening. What has shifted? And a piece of this is everything that I'm teaching you inside of, or that I'm talking about inside of this live. Number one, really, really stepping into your iconic self. Really fully expressing yourself on a whole other level on a day-to-day basis. Having increased standards for yourself and how you show up. That's number one. Because as a byproduct of that, the offers will come in, the ideas will flow, the content ideas will be incredible, the sales will happen, people will buy. As a byproduct of you being your most iconic self, money will come. Number two, setting your soul on fire. Making moves that only make sense to you. For me, one of my moves this year was spending $25,000 on one weekend with a mentor. That doesn't make sense to anyone else. Some people won't invest $25,000 in a coaching program. I wouldn't have done that when I first started. It doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. It makes sense to me. To me, another set your soul on fire move was deciding to move to Mexico for the summer. Doesn't make sense. I could stay in Thailand. In fact, I had planned on staying in Thailand and through September and then going to Portugal. That's a set my soul on fire move. Doesn't make sense. Feels right though. I'm going to listen to it. Let me pick up my entire life in Thailand. I was very settled, very comfortable. Let me pick it up and move it. That was for me. That might not be for you, but that was for me. Other things that I'm changing in my business, letting go of certain ways that I sell, letting go of certain ways that I run the back end of my business. To me, that's setting my soul on fire. And as a result of making these moves that to no one else, they don't make sense. No, like to other people, these moves do not make sense and they don't have to. As a result of that, in 2023, the business has been having transaction every single day. Every day, every single day in 2023, a transaction has happened. That blows my mind. Because in 2022, just a year ago, there were many days zero. And then there'd be something high, and then a little bit, and then high, a little bit. Every single day in 2023, there's been a transaction. And yes, it is a result of my consistency and showing up. But I've really done a lot of reflection on this. It primarily comes from fully being your iconic self and then setting your soul on fire. Doing the things that only make sense for you. It doesn't have to be something that's like big as moving across the world. To some people, that might not even be big. You know what that thing is for setting your soul on fire. And then there's this other piece that I'm going to be talking a lot about in content, which is building the movement. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about dips in income or dips in the industry or dips or whatever. People are changing or buying differently or whatever it is. People are saying recession. When you move from a place of I'm building movement, I'm building something that's going to impact a lot of people, and you put service first, and you're like, how can I serve my community? How can I make the best product, the best service for people, build community, build relationships? You're going to see your business be able to do anything, no matter what's going on in the economy or the industry or the online space. You're also going to, through building the movement, equip yourself with the skill set to be able to adapt no matter what's happening. So for example, let's say your TikTok got taken down. Okay, great, you can pivot into this model over here. Okay, all social media got taken down. Okay, great. Well, do you have an email list? Do you have relationships that you built with people and clients? Do you have a brand? Do you have the movement that you built where people are all coming into one? A movement will compound so much faster than just selling things on the internet. And I'll tell you from experience, starting with just selling things on the internet will bring in quick cash. It will bring in quick cash in the beginning, but over time, you're going to have to keep that up. Cash, you bring in a bunch of cash, it runs out. You bring in a bunch of cash, it runs out. But building from the community in mind, from setting your soul on fire, from leading with your most iconic energy, this is going to be able to withstand any storm. Because your focus is on who can I be? How can I make this the most epic adventure of my life? And who can I serve? And then, as a byproduct of that, you're going in and opening up your Stripe account, and you're like, oh, well, this is fun. Yesterday, I took a screenshot of our Stripe account. It said 1 million cash. And I said, oh, this is fun. I haven't even like shared that anywhere. I guess I'm just sharing that with you all here. It said 1 million cash. And I said, oh, that's fun. I had no idea that the Stripe account had even said that, 1 million cash. It's a byproduct of icon, set your soul on fire, build the movement and serve. These are the things you're going to see me talking about so much in my content. Put a yes in the chat if you're still here with me. Put a like I'm here in the chat if you're still here with me. I would love to know who is here live. I'd love to know. Are you with me? I think in this month of June, we're going to see a lot of people rise. We're going to see a lot of people show up on another level. Alexa's here, Jeva's here, Alex is here, Lily's here. Hi, Lily. Lily and I are doing one-to-one. Lauren's here. Hi, Lauren. I think we're going to see a lot of people rise. And we might see people go through challenges. Can you make June, whether you're, I think almost all of you are a client of mine, so we'll talk about this in our mentorship together. If you're not a client of mine or you're not inside of my world, I want you to think about this week, how can I be my most iconic self? Again, to me, it was wearing my bathing suit top today. That was my iconic self for me. I was also having this conversation with you today. How can you set your soul on fire? And how can you build this movement? And as a byproduct of those three things, money will come in. Maybe not immediately, but it will start to compound and come in. I'm feeling all of this, Morgan says, such a good start to the week. Freedom Queen, I love you so much. Never forget who you are. Every single Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we do these lives on our YouTube channel. So make sure that you stay plugged in. Maybe go back and listen to this live over again if this is something that you need. If you're in Set Your Soul on Fire, I'll see you soon inside of the Voxer. Make sure that you submit your Voxer, not Voxer, private client this week, which I'm so excited about. Alex and Gemma and Alexa, you guys are all in headquarters and mastermind. I'm so excited to see you inside of the programs. Come back next Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, where I have these riffs with you, conversations, answer some questions that you have coming up in the chat. Go set your soul on fire. Go set your soul on fire. Do the things that you want to be doing. And for me today, that looks like a lot of dance parties. It looks like a lot of being bold. That's one of my Set My Soul on Fire is. And it looks like opening up the Set Your Soul on Fire program. Okay, Queens, I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.